Take someone with you. My manager calls out to me as she clears the final dining table. I work at a fairly nice restaurant. Steak and ribs is the only place's specialty, and mine is liquor. I man the bar most nights. I just finished loading the remainder of the empty bottles, cartons, and broken glasses into a medium-sized crate, hoisting it into a trolley just outside the building, ready to close for the night. "What?" I call out to my manager. She abandons her tray of glassware and walks over. "Take someone with you to the bins, okay?" She returns to her duties before I even have a chance to respond. I look over to the bar, who doesn't really talk to anyone, is busy polishing cutlery, judging Abby's attempt at cleaning the coffee machine with snarky jabs. She's not taking a shit, and gives back what he's dishing out. She turns around and Stanley, feeling safe, flips her off. To my right, I watch Rana mop the floor. He's quiet, focused, and a hardcore clean freak, which makes his mopping both calming meditation and serious torture for him. One dirty footprint, and I'm finished. Sitting down, doing fuck all, is Will. We all hate Will. Even if I asked him, he'd say some stupid shit, like, "I can't, my mom will be here to pick me up soon." The guy drives. We all know he drives here. I scan the room one final time before saying, "Fuck it," and start pushing the trolley down to the bins. I'll be quick. The restaurant is just one part of a very large shopping center. It sits on the outside of the building, which is situated just by a small fountain. Throughout the day, you'd see a plethora of families and couples doing their shopping, getting food or coffee, or just loitering the surrounding areas. But at night, it was a ghost town. 30 meters up from the restaurant is a large metal gate, which led down into a shaded disposable area. All of the restaurants use it. It's quite dark down there, and the mix of putrid smells and scampering rats makes for a fairly horrendous adventure down the ramp. About 12 trolleys are scattered by the large industrial containers, relics of past bin runs. A single light flickers up on the wall, and beside it, a security camera. Busted. Abby tells me a couple of teens were seen tossing bottles at the wall, one successfully smashing the camera lens, though instead of running away, they continue to throw them. Very ballsy. I lift one of the 3 full crates up into my arms and continue the momentum up and over and into a large green recycling bin. The glass bottles make a jarring crash, delivering an unpleasant ringing into my left ear. I take a moment to orientate myself, the high-pitched squealing sending my sense of gravity through a loop. It happens every time, and yet I refuse to slow down the pace. I toss the crate back into the trolley. I just want to get home. The strange thing tonight is that the sounds began to morph. At first, an intense, constant, and deliberating scream, then was a light whisper. It was raspy, but had a sweet lightness in its upward inflection. It was comforting, in compared to the short-lived tinnitus. This sound, however, lasted longer, with large intervals between each soothing call. It also sounded like words, or just one word. "Hey." I spin my head to the left and jump back a little. Lurking just on the cusp of the light's reach is a rugged man with a face mask wrapped around his chin. From what I can see of the figure, he adorns a green wind jacket with the hood propped up and ripped jeans. On his right foot, he wears a large black boot, the kind you would wear after a serious injury. His mouth creaks back and forth between neutral and slightly open, like he's about to say something. Each time, his mouth begins to quiver. "Hey." The word escapes his uncertain lips. I pause momentarily and just watch the man watch me. Both of us are in awe at each other. He blinks, and I blink. He breathes, and I breathe. Hell, if he'd laughed, I'd probably laugh too. I scramble to find some words, or any word which could help me escape this endless standoff, and "Claire." He continues the interaction. I can feel myself caught off guard only a little bit before opening my mouth. Oh no. My voice is splintered, and I clear my throat. "Not Claire." I watch his eyes wander slightly downward. The light flickers, and the stranger is momentarily cast into darkness. His face lights up again, and he's staring at me, more bewildered than ever. He shakes his head.
Not Claire.
No, not Claire, sorry. I try to half smile.
Oh,
The man slowly squats down.
thought you were Claire.
He settles his hands over his knees. They dangled at the wrist.
I'm supposed to meet Claire. She said she'd be here.
I'm sorry. I keep a close eye on him, analyzing the way he sits, almost childlike. There's an air of silent, though.
Claire said she'd be here. She did.
He looks down, then off the side before returning to my gaze.
You have a phone?
I freeze. Again, I'm caught in an awestruck position, and I say the only thing I can say, what I thought would be the best, all things considered.
What?
Stupid.
A phone?
He rises back to his 6-foot position.
You have a phone so I can call Claire? I have her number here.
He holds out his hand, opening his skeletal fingers like some sort of malnourished flower. In his palm is a piece of paper crumpled and whittling.
This is Claire's number. If you have phone, I called her.
I catch my breath. I don't have a phone, I mutter.
No?
No, I don't have a phone. His hands fall back to his sides. He doesn't stop staring. His mouth frowns a little.
I need to call Claire. I have to call Claire. She said she'd meet here.
I'm sorry, I can't help you. He steps forward, further into the light. His eyes are dark and hollow. His face a gaunt, a grotesque bust covered with all forms of dirt and grime. The lights, they flicker. And as the light comes on again, he's closer. About 3 feet closer.
I need to find Claire.
He steps forward, and I slide my hand into my pocket. He flashes the paper again.
This is her number.
He scrunches it and makes an audible grunt when tossing it into the cracked pavement. As the paper slips from his crooked fingers, my keys slip between mine. He steps forward. He's about 15 feet away.
She lies!
He barks and points at me with a cruel infliction.
Lies!
His black boot makes a plastic crunch as he steps forward once more. He's 12 feet away. No, I didn't lie. I didn't lie. I tighten my grip, each knuckle armed with its own miniature dagger.
Again, she lies!
Another step, much larger. I shuffle back and bump into the trolley, causing it to rattle, a sinister melody alongside the chattering of dirty bottles. I am reminded of my poor choices.
Where did she go?
He looks around himself, almost searching for something, for someone.
She tries to run from me. Why? Why does she try to run from me? Why?
I am 2 seconds away from throwing a flurry of sharp, key-shaped punches when he abruptly stops. He stops. No more steps forward. He just looks right. His expression is dumbfounded and rigid. I can hear him muttering something. He's unintelligible. He looks left. He shakes his head, then looks right again. He shakes his head and lets out a grunt. He peers downward, his eyes navigating the pavement. He looks up at me one last time.
Okay, bye not, Claire.
Without so much of a hint of hesitation, the nightmare nonchalantly hobbles back into the shadow. I hear his footsteps trail off into the inky black, off past the edge of the building. Slowly, they dissipate into nothing. The altercation only lasted minutes. The only thing audible was my breathing, which found a sharp edge on its way in and out of my lungs. It was accompanied by the thumping of my heavy heart. Sweat crept its way down my face, and suddenly I felt the exhaustion. Once I'm sure I'm alone, I'll finally release my keys and start to cry. I hadn't realized how overwhelmed I was until I collapsed back into the trolley and slid down to the asphalt. My legs attempted to support the descent while shaking relentlessly. I whimper into my shirt, the fabric soaking a startling amount of water. I think I sat there for nearly 10 minutes, just counseling myself, while simultaneously keeping an ear out for a plastic limp. After wiping away my last tear, I slid myself back up, using the trolley as leverage. I turned to face the reminder of my assigned task, 100 different reminders to what led me here. It all feels so surreal. To go back to this after what just happened, I turn back around and stare into the abyss. I worry that if I don't turn around for just a second, he'll be back, just on the cusp. I look down. The paper. I hesitate for a moment. I look forward. I look down. I quickly move to scavenge the paper, swiping it from the ground before he returns. I check the dark again. The paper feels damp and stained with God knows what. I unravel the parchment and inspect the contents. There's a phone number on here, although it's hard to make out. I spent a few minutes deciphering the puzzle, and all I see is 04678995.
What? What the fuck?
The numbers finally make themselves known, although it's easier to see them when you know what you're looking for. It dawns on me. This man, he had my number. My real phone number. This is actually my number. Where the fuck did he get my number? Suddenly I hear footsteps behind me. I aggressively grip my keys once more and swing them to my side. I let out a shudder squeal before spotting my manager as he jogs down the ramp. I ease up, dropping my fist back down. My manager slows down from the jog to a walk and joins me in the lot. She looks me up and down. She can see my misty eyes and my trembling hands. She spots the keys. She sees 2 full crates of garbage. She drops her head. I can sense that I told you so coming. She looks into my eyes.
What did I tell you?
She sighs.
I said to take someone with you, Claire.